Welcome, Zach. Episode 5.
Yes.
We made it this far. We say that every time. It's only the 5th episode.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 5 weeks of doing this.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Well, 6 weeks, sorry.
Oh, yeah, there's the one skipped one.
Because I forgot the computer like a dummy.
Well, it's all good, though.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good ideas from that.
Yeah, we did. Like, wheel and tire setups.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
So, question number 1 of the day.
Okay.
Real, fake, and or OEM.
Okay, because that's like a multi.
Yeah. So, I'll start, I guess.
Okay.
Have the RPF ones still.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot of fake wheels, and I had the OEMs. So I'll start with OEMs. So with the Mazda, when I first got the Mazda, one of the first things I did was I put lowering springs on it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And honestly, the stock Mazda Speed 3 wheels, second gen Speed wheels, they're not bad. They're not good. They're really heavy, this and that, but it's a daily driver. Who cares, right? And they were 18s, right? So tires are a little expensive. So we'll get in that later, tires. But as of right now, OEMs.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool, whatever. They were powder coated, great, this and that. Didn't really care about them because we were kind of beat when I got the car.
Mm-hmm.
The other OEM wheels that I had on my second Legacy, the 2013-ish wide body WRX or whatever generation that is.
Yeah.
WRX wheels. They were Brandon's, kind of crazy. How I acquired them, great wheel. Really, they like made the Legacy kind of pop in a way.
Yeah.
But they were also OEMs, so it was kind of like it fit the car in a way. Like they weren't like flashy. It wasn't like cool like chrome lip.
Those wheels I think fit better for other Subarus than the ones they came with for factories. So like the WRX.
You think so?
Yeah. So like it looked good. It looked good on the Legacy. I've seen people run them on Outbacks.
Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of people run them on Foresters too.
Yes. So that's like kind of. I think it's just because it's a wider wheel, right?
Yeah, it's not too. I had a 225 on it, and that there wasn't much of a. I don't think there was no stretch at all. I want to say that was like that was almost like I want to say Square. If I remember correctly, OEM tire on that wheel was a 235.
Oh, okay. So a little bit smaller.
Yeah, not by much. Not it's not going to affect anything. But yeah. So not bad. I think it was like maybe 7 in width, maybe. They were 17s though, so that was kind of cool.
Didn't know that.
So yeah, the OEM wheels, they're kind of cool. They're cheaper, you know. There are a lot of like 90s tri-spokes out there, especially in the American car scene.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to run adapters for the Subaru, but like, who cares? When it comes to fakes, though, I had a fake set of, I think I'm saying it correctly, Verstoni something. I don't know. I started with a V.
One of those long words.
Yeah, one of the weird ones that had the 2 dots over the O. It wasn't English, so who knows? But they were cool. Didn't really care about them. Funny story with those wheels, the ones I plasticated black. So when I sold the Mazda to my buddy Brad, he had it for quite some time, did this and that, loved the car. He sold the car with those wheels on, with the fake wheels. And I'll show you the pictures afterwards. The guy he sold the car to, like a couple weeks later, like he was like, for some reason he contacted Brad and was like, "Yo, the wheel like exploded. Like the wheel like legit. Like he was like doing something. I don't know if he jumped the car or what. Like the wheel like exploded. Like it was in like pieces,
cracked and blew up. Like
literally everywhere. It's just weird because like I had the wheels and beat the crap out of him. He had the wheels and beat the crap out of him. And this dude had the wheels for like a month. And I don't know if he just reached a breaking point or what, but
either that or definitely.
What did he do?
Well, he could have hit like
he could have
bad pothole.
But if he hit a bad pothole, why is he complaining to Brad? I don't know. It's super weird. I don't know why he sent it because he wasn't like trying to get money or anything. I think he just was like, "Yo, what the heck?" It's like, well, what you do? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like fake wheels will break. We get it. You know, like fake wheels are notorious for breaking
Yeah.
with potholes or smacking a curb or like, but not like just I'm doing 55 down the highway. Next thing I know, my wheels doesn't exist
No,
anymore.
that shouldn't, unless there's very, very bad stress cracks and
I don't know.
just the
Weird
structural integrity is like non-existent for it.
Yeah. So the RPF ones.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only aftermarket wheel that I've ever owned. So great wheel without tire. You could like literally without tire, like you could like hold the wheel up like
super
insane light.
Super lightweight, yeah.
They were 17s as well, so like tires were way cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I was doing at the time with the offsets, so they kind of looked weird. Yeah. But whatever.
Did you go with 17s because you like that more? Or?
I went with 17s purely because of tire prices. Because I was a senior airman at the time and I couldn't afford 18s.
Yeah, that's true.
But at the same time, like, I don't know. I didn't honestly. After everything said and done, I don't really like those RPF ones on that car. They just looked weird. But at the time, I was all about them because I was like, oh my god, I had a set of RPF ones. Like I thought like. They were like literally. I thought like Justin Bieber walked in the room. I was creaming everywhere. Crazy.
For the RPF ones.
Yeah, dude, freaking out over the RPF ones. But you know, having them, it was cool. Ownership of like name brand wheels kind of sucked. I curbed them once down in Ocean City. Literally cried. And don't know if you know this, Anke, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anke, they don't sell paint, right? And they don't tell you paint codes. So had to mix paint.
Oh, I didn't know.
Had to figure out the color myself. Never done that.
Mm-hmm.
Never done that ever. It worked. Yeah, dude, it was nuts.
Yeah.
But it was like such a slight, it wasn't like hard or anything. Very slight like blemish. Sanded it down. Yeah, sanded it down, painted it. It was cool experience. Now I know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like really weird about them. I felt like one of those guys that are like really in the shoes. They're like, I'm gonna wear them, but I'm not gonna like crease them. Like
yeah.
that. Like I was like weird.
You only wear them in the house.
Yeah, that type of thing. Or like, I liked driving the Mazda, and that was the thing. It was like, you know, if I want to rip a road that might have some like, you know, sticks and like some like rocks and like, you know, a back road that's like a back road.
Yeah.
I want to. I don't want to be like, oh, there's potholes. You know, like, I want to just beat the crap out of the car. I just want to, like, grab gears and, like, disappear, man. Like, I'm not trying to, like, tiptoe around in a Mazda Speed 3. Like, that's not fun.
Well, there was, because that's very much a race-inspired wheel.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of how lightweight they are.
Yeah.
And they have such a kind of a very minimalist look to them. Mm-hmm. I think that's why you don't really see it in kind of like normal, I don't want to say car culture, but like car builds.
Yeah.
And when you do, you're kind of like, RPF ones? Like, oh, that's actually a good look. It's like everyone's kind of like...
It's such a uniform wheel. Like, there isn't a single car, and I'll say this completely confident, there's not a single car that RPF ones don't look good on.
Do you know Zach? He has the pink SC300.
No.
So he has a pink SC300.
Okay.
And he recently did a revamp of his car, and he went just the silver RPF ones. Mm-hmm. There might be 18s.
Okay.
But yeah, he did that, and I'm talking like he has aero in the car. It's static. He has now a big wing.
Nice.
In the back. And then went RPF ones.
Is he local?
Yeah. He's local. I can show you later.
The only SC300 that I know that's local, and I saw it over the summer, is it was like a darker color car, pretty low, no wing, but huge blast pipes out the back, like crazy.
Pink car?
No, it was dark.
No, I don't think that.
Did this guy like recently wrap it or something?
No, it was paint.
Ah.
But it's been pink the majority of the time that he's had it, and it's been couple years of it being pink.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never seen this car.
I gotta show you pictures of it.
I'm down to see some pictures.
Yeah, he did. And it's like we all thought he was gonna do like 3-piece
Okay.
Because how the car is and everything. He's like, oh, I got a new thing. Like, I got new wheels. I got some other aero parts. And we were all thinking, like, what 3-piece wheels did you get? And when we saw RPF 1s, we were kind of like, those actually looks pretty good. Like, I wasn't expecting it, but I think he pulled it off.
What do you think of, like, big RPF 1s, like 18s, 19s?
I wouldn't do any more than an 18.
They do look weird.
Yes.
When you start stretching them out a bit.
Well, it's like when you're playing Forza.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say that, dude. Forza and like a lot of the video games just cannot nail RPF 1s, and I'm not too sure why. I don't know why. I would love to, dude. We should study that and try to figure that out, because like it is disappointing. Because it's like I got an RX-8. I want to put RPF 1s on it. You do it, and it's like,
I think,
oh god, like you want to like physically throw up. Like you want to like just delete the game off your hard drive. It's that ugly.
Well, like if you do like 3-piece wheels on like a car in Forza, you're like, okay, yeah, they're deep dish. You can see that, you see the depth, but then when you have kind of a normal faced wheel in Forza, there's not a lot of depth to it. And I think that's why, because same thing, like if you're looking at pictures online of RPF 1s and then you go and you finally have them in your possession, you're like, that's better than I thought. I think it's kind of one of those same cases.
Definitely could be. I don't know, because it's, they let that wheel down. Forza, dang.
Well, they still manufacture them, right?
Yeah, you can still get them.
Okay, that's good that they didn't discontinue it.
I don't think they're ever gonna. That is such a high demand wheel still.
Yeah.
When did that wheel start getting popular? It's not till like 2016, right? At least that's when I started recognizing them.
Probably around that time, because I'm trying to think. It's a wheel that's been around for a while.
Welcome back.
N203s
are cool.
Yes.
They derive from the Subaru world. Now they're here with us. RPF 1s are cool.
Yes.
They're never going nowhere.
They belong on Mazda Speed 3s.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to make the set that I have into a coffee table. Oh my god, Zach. So I saw a sim rig on Marketplace earlier. Real pretty setup. Real pretty setup. And next to the seat, it had a clear circle glass top, RPF 1, Xbox controller, and then something else. Bro, it looked freaking mint. I was like thinking to myself, I was like...
It was like a DIY kind of
it was hot. It was so freaking nice. I was like, dang, dude, you need to be an interior designer.
Did I know you texted me early because you asked me if I did end up selling it a couple. I know.
Bro, I really want one. I need something to like. How many text messages a day do you get that's like, I want this. Like it's like a car. Like the last one I sent you was that Golf all track. I'll send you a piece of craps. I'll send you some weird stuff. I need to go virtual before I literally lose my mind. I want to go virtual VR and just either start racing online or just be something with a manual, because this EV is making me want to like literally pull my hair out, which it did. So I'm stressing.
Yeah. I kind of, the sim rig, I kind of felt that way. I enjoyed the time that I had it. I didn't use it that much. It wasn't like I was in a situation where it's like, okay, this is dedicated. You know, mine was portable, as you saw.
Yeah.
But still pain. You gotta move the thing around, and
I was just gonna like completely dedicate my desktop, like 100%. Because like I was thinking about like the actual sim rigs, like the legitimate like the seat mounted like they have like the thing that with the keyboard that kind of like swivels, and they have like a small little desk thing. So I was thinking, I was like, dude, honestly, like just sit there. That could be my desk, or like I could like have, I don't know, figure it out.
There's one of the brands that Next Level Racing or something like that, where they make the more budget sim rigs, as in like seat that actually adjusts.
Yeah.
it's not like a name brand seat or anything like that. But the cheaper side of that, and then I had I forget what mine was.
The wheel?
The
or the stand?
Wheel Stand Pro. And that was the one where I had to use my own seat, which was convenient, but then sometimes it'd be like a chair wouldn't go low enough or get where I needed, or like when we use the wood chairs that we have downstairs. It's like convenient,
but not like engulfing you in the experience. Like you're still realizing you're on a sim. Well, I can see that.
I had an Air Force buddy that was real into autocross and HD or HPDE.
What is that?
Basically, like race events, like
sweet.
track days and stuff like that.
Sick.
And he did a lot of sim racing in the back, and he went through a couple different setups. Like he had the legit slider stand, and ended up evolving into having dedicated computer to run all the games, triple monitor. It wasn't Logitech. What's the one?
Well, there's like so many. There's like Thrustmaster. There's Fanatic, something like that.
That one.
Yeah. So those are like legit. Like those are like a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like I've bought cars that cost less than just the motor.
Yeah.
But then again, those are those are the ones that can like break your fingers. Like you got to be careful with those.
Where they're like, oh, if you're playing dirt, do not do 100% force feedback. Or...
Yeah, like iRacing, and someone like creams into you, and like next thing you know, you're in the ER because someone ran into you virtually.
Yeah, we played like Dirt Rally, the serious one. That was a lot of fun. And what else? We said iRacing. He was also big in iRacing. So he would get me on, and I would do like Miatas on circuit tracks, and I can like legitimately say like that kind of setup, and then doing iRacing or one of the better sim games actually helps you improve big time.
I bet.
Big time.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. I mean, it's like pretty legit, especially like I've never actually done iRacing, but I've done like a lot of Assetto Corsa on controller, and like just learning racing lines and like learning how to like approach a turn, and like it's a lot. I mean, it's not just a game. Like you're really studying, a concept.
Yeah.
And you're really trying to master something, and it's fun on controller, yeah, but when you're doing it like with your body and everything, and then,
especially with like clutch and shifter,
it's a whole different. I've never actually driven on like a really nice wheel setup. I've only ever done yours and my buddy back in Korea, Q. He had the G29 Logitech wheel, which is honestly great. Like it's a great intro wheel. Like it really is. And even granted, in my opinion, the physical wheel itself is a little small. So if you get like the aftermarket hub and you get whatever else, like I've never driven on aftermarket wheel, but I could imagine that would be kind of nice. When it comes to drifting with the G29, like the motor just isn't fast enough. Yeah. So, you like that's what I kind of know. I guess that's why they make the wheel so tiny, honestly. Because I know, I mean, granted, I was trying to drift in CarX racing. Oh God, dude, that physics in that game were just like weird. Like you just could not. You could drift on controller decently, but not on a wheel.
Yeah, I know. With Assetto Corsa, drifting, I think it was the easiest on. Is it one of the BMWs? I don't want to say it was like an E30, but that one, and then they have all those small drift circuits. I think that was my first time really trying to learn how to do that on sims, which even like actual drivers, they say learning sim rigs, it's pretty difficult.
I can imagine. Because like there's no momentum, there's no G forces. Like plus, I mean, there's the whole psyche side of it too. Like in an actual car, like, as you know, like, me personally, I like doing donuts to the left. Don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm on the left side of the car. But when I start doing donuts to the right, freaks me out. Yeah. I just want to, like, it feels like you're standing on, like, the side of a bridge looking down and to, like, an infinite drop. It's like, oh, God, this is scary.
Well, same way, if you're in the Forester, they'd probably be the same thing but flipped. Like,
yeah, you'd want to do donuts to the right, but if doing donuts to the left, you're like...
It's because it's a big kind of blind spot, big open area of, like, a what if that you don't know how close you can get to something.
Plus, you have that pillar right there, you know? So, like... Yeah. You know, when I was in Korea with my buddy Q, we were doing a lot of Assetto Corsa, and we were doing go-kart tracks. And that got me thinking, like, when I come home, I really want to get into go-kart racing. I was like, that'd be great. Well, obviously, around here, there's no go-kart at all, which sucks. So I was like, all right, sim rig. Maybe I could get into that again. Dude, back in Korea, Q and I would get so into this. Like there was this one night, I remember, we would just stayed up all night, smoked cigarettes, like, drank, like, energy drinks, and, like, we're literally, he would go, I would go, he would go, I would go. It was an hour long, man. Yeah. I remember, like, having a headache after it, being like...
Playing which game?
Assetto Corsa. It was one of the go-kart tracks, and, like, really getting into it, and, like, we started, like, watching, like, YouTube videos, like,
actually doing go-karts?
Yeah. The go-kart racing.
Difficult.
It was so much fun,
like,
dude.
The steering's so, like...
Yeah. Dude, I really enjoyed the go-kart, because I was thinking, I was like, you know what, like, scaling it down made it more fun, more realistic, because it was like, you don't have to go as fast, but you can hit turns pretty hard. It was a great experience. We were all, like, hot and sweaty afterwards. It's pretty nuts. Yeah. So, we were talking about go-karts now.
Yeah. So, well, that's how these things work. That's how these
tangents.
Unplanned segues.
Yes. Speaking of segues.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really media.
Really media.
Sorry, I just had to plug it.
Oh God. Okay.
You're looking to get hitched.
Yeah. Do you want wedding videos?
Car videos too. I want to get back into that.
Hey man, Crispy. You mean really media?
Nah, I won't bash on Crispy.
I'll bash on Crispy.
His videos are good.
He hires people to edit his videos.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh no! Don't start any kind of controversy. This is a joke.
Was it?
Crispy, if you ever see this, I want to see your airsoft videos again. Did I ever tell you about that?
No.
So he had a backyard airsoft channel, and he did reviews. Okay. And I remember when those guys all stopped doing that, and a few years later, I get in the car scene, and I see Crispy Media. So I'm like, who's this? And I'm like, that guy looks so familiar.
Are you
but
serious?
I couldn't pinpoint it.
Oh my God.
So I did some more digging, and I'm like, wait, is that the guy who's doing, like, airsoft reviews and, like, the backyard stuff? So I started doing stuff. I was like, that's him. So one of his videos, I went in and I literally commented, like, hey, when's your next airsoft video? LOL. Never replied to it. Never did anything like that. Oh. So I think I'm still gonna go through and, like, comment that until I get, like, be like, you're an OG. You're an OG, man. Oh. Unless he, like, erased that from his brain.
Dude,
that's what got him into the whole videos, and
that's it.
You know,
airsoft.
For me, it was making a freaking video about how to invade a zombie.
God, dude, that's hardcore.
What was yours?
Vine. Yeah,
was there anything before Vine, or because that was still around the same time too? Production. Yeah.
There was a lot before Vine, but I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, you don't? Well, it's
not
probably
really.
Like dirt bike.
No. Zach, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
It's really
different episode.
It's really embarrassing. I like legit like you ever make something so cringy that you just want to pull your eyes out?
Were you dancing in a tutu?
No.
See, it can't be
that bad. It was worse than that.
Oh, what?
It was real bad. I don't know how to get to the account either, so it's still up. I was young, bro. I was like 10.
Yeah, there's always some cringy stuff.
My parents bring it up all the time. Hate it. Okay, anyways.
It's just like home video on a VHS tape.
Webcam.
Yeah. Wow.
It included World of Warcraft too.
Okay. Funny or serious?
Funny.
Okay. Maybe I'll show. I show you.
Okay.
And then.
Okay.
But off camera.
Yes. So, do you run name brand tires, or do you say YOLO and buy used tires?
I don't think I could ever buy used tires.
Yeah,
That's always.
Why is that?
Well, because it's like a sketchy situation.
It's very sketchy.
Did you have used tires?
Yep.
Okay, in that situation, yeah, who cares?
The fake wheels I had on the Mazda, the black plastic ones, I had 4 different tires on that car. They were $20 a tire.
I was gonna say the Legacy.
The Legacy also had fake tires. Well, not fake, used tires.
Used tires.
Legacy had used tires, and yep, they were fine. Like, they weren't bad. Honestly, I want to say, like, mounted and everything, $200.
It's not bad.
Yeah. So, like, and the guy did cash only. Yeah.
Off the books.
Bro, did I ever tell you that experience? That was weird, man. Very weird. In the middle, like, weird place, middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get service. I had Minnie with me. I had my dog with me. So we pull up, talking to the guy. I want 205s. Nah, man, that's sketch. I want 205s. That's weird. And I'm like, okay, fine. We'll run the 225s or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Should have ran the 205s. Could have gone lower. Yeah. But whatever.
He just didn't want. He didn't want him stretched.
I guess he didn't want a guilty conscience when I'm dead. So.
Yeah.
I sit in his waiting room, which was literally a living room. Bro, it was so weird, dude. Like, I felt like I was in, like, my grandparents', like, attic. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Like
elevator music was playing in the background.
No, bro. No. Me TV was playing. Oh, yeah, dude. I was watching, like, Gomer Pyle or whatever it was. Sitting there. Bro, I sat there for at least, it felt like 3 hours. No cell phone service, no nothing, in the middle of nowhere. Actually, it was so cold. It was right when it was starting to get cold. It was freezing. Mm-hmm. No heat in this house or whatever. So, like, my dog's, like, shaking. I'm freezing. I, like, walk up the street until I get cell phone service. And I text my dad. I'm like, hey, come to this address. Come get my dog. So he comes, scoops my dog. Mm-hmm. So I sit there for, like, another, like, hour and a half. It had to have been at least an hour and a half. And, like, the guy was just taking forever. Just mount and balance. Which I'm not saying, I can't mount and balance tires. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
But I've also hired people to do it many, many times before, and it didn't take, like, 4 hours to do. So, like, yeah, it was pretty rough. So.
Where'd you find this place?
A sign on the side of the road that said, we sell used tires.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever found something like the homemade signs other than maybe garage sale.
No.
And it was like, I'm going to go check this out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to die.
I did it. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. Would I do it again? Probably not. Would I buy used tires again? Yes, but not from him.
Yeah.
Like, the whole experience was fine, whatever. I didn't really care. So, granted, they were all the same brand. So that was kind of cool.
That's good.
It wasn't too sketchy. But, like I said with the Mazda, I ran whatever, and I just didn't care. I was like, dude, whatever. Like,
yeah. I think, especially, like, when you got to the point of, like, we did the motor build, bigger turbo, all the other stuff. I'm surprised you weren't at a point. I mean, I get it, like, budgeting and everything.
It wasn't even, honestly, it wasn't really budgeting. I just didn't care. Like, because, like, I got the wheels, and they were just so beat. Like, they were just so beat. And I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, bro, like, like, should I put a brand new set of tires on this? And I was like, screw it. YOLO. Let's try it. So I did it, and I was like, oh, it worked. So, you know, pop a tire, go back. and this was in Delaware at the time.
Yeah.
Mad cheap tires. Like I said earlier, like 20 something a tire. Like so it was like crazy. Mm-hmm. So I kept doing that and doing it, and it was fine. And then like obviously if I was like racing the car, tracking the car, no duh, I would obviously get like legit tires. And like when I had my RPF one, well when the RPS was on it, I actually had Yokohama S drives. It was like some like cool little tire that I had them on the Del Sol, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. I just think it sounded cool. I guess I don't know.
Well, yeah. So Yokohama, they're still
there was like a cool tire.
Yeah.
And like. It was decent, and they did grip well. Like it turned and great, but
it was all season, right?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it was more like a rain style of a tire. Okay. Who knows? But like obviously, like that's how I kind of viewed it. Like if I'm gonna be like ripping on it, like turns and stuff, yeah, I would want a name brand tire. But like if I'm just driving around the Ocean City and everything, and it's just gonna wear down. Just why spend all that money? It's not a flex for me. It was just kind of like I just want tires.
So when I had the Fiesta, normally it's like I didn't think about that. I had the OEM tires. It wasn't until when I was going through with tuning, when I had the Garrett 2860R Gen 2, that my tuner actually emailed me when I was sending logs. He's like, "Are you getting wheel spin?" It's like, "You might need to have a grippier tire. I can't tune anymore at this point," because he wasn't getting good data.
Yeah,
I was getting to the point where I was getting so much wheel spin that it was kind of pointless. So I was kind of in the same situation. I wanted to buy good tires, but I didn't want to buy something super expensive. So that's when I found Tire Street's Accelera, and I found the 651 Sports, which is a 200 tread wear, like basically summer tire, like soft compound and everything. And I ran them on the Fiesta, and compared to a lot of other companies, they were like relatively cheap. I want to say I might have bumped up to a 225, or I might have stayed, I think 225 for a 17-inch.
Yeah.
Wasn't that bad. It was definitely under 100 per tire.
Dang.
So I was able to get away with that being out in Vegas because it's practically spring, summer, all year long. It does get cold in the winter, but surprisingly, like with those, as long as it wasn't like below 30 degrees, they were fine. And believe it or not, even in the rain.
Oh wow!
Like I was kind of sketched out because everyone was saying like 200 tread wear soft compound tires are like terrifying rain. Like hopefully you don't ever try like hydroplane. I had no issues with them.
Dang.
Like they had dedicated rain grooves or water grooves or whatever you call it. And I don't want to say I was like 100% confident.
But you're probably just cautious in the rain. And
yeah.
Like, look out for yourself. You're not ripping down the highway.
Yeah. Which I do know a lot of other tires, especially they're a big competitor with do you know the other 200 tread wear tire that a lot of people run?
Well, the Continental DSWs?
Not.
I don't know. That's just the one that I know every single Mazda Speed person like would literally take to their grave.
What is... And a lot of people would do the tire lettering around them. Anyway, like that was a big competitor and everyone ran that. Everyone complained that in the wet it was don't drive in the wet. But for these, like the Accelera 651 Sports got me the grip that I needed for tuning and all the other stuff, and I was semi-confident in the wet too, like even going through and not hooking it, but
yeah, but just like driving safely. Yo, can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
So had a roommate with a newer Mustang GT. lowered exhaust, right, and he would rip his car. He would beat the crap out of it. So he eventually needed new tires. So I don't know like how true the story is, but like he seemed very convinced that he got scammed. He bought tires? Yeah, I don't know what brand it was or whatever. He bought a brand new set of tires, had them mounted, like he bought them from a store, like a local store in Delaware. Got him mounted and everything, driving it. He drove to like New York or something like that and back, or like Ohio and back. It's something weird like that, like a small trip from Delaware to Ohio. Let's say it was. And when he got back, he had cords showing. So, but like he apparently he had cords like in the front and the rear. So I don't know if he just didn't have an alignment or like
inner.
I don't remember. I just remember him saying cords all around were showing, and he states that he took it back to the place he bought the tires, and they were like, yeah, it looks like we had a batch of fake tires. So I'm thinking to myself, I've never heard this ever in my life. Yeah. Like I said, I know his background. I know he ripped on that car hard, like all the time. So like, it's like, all right, dude. Like I could also see him, like he lowered it, and I could also see him being the type of person just not getting alignment. So, like it kind of makes me think. Like I never really cared enough to like ask. And, like, I don't want to, like, sit here and talk crap, but, like...
hey, you remember that time?
Yeah, remember that time you didn't get alignment and you claimed you had fake tires? But he also could have. And, like, that is a thing. Like, you know, after... I dug a little bit and helped him kind of, like, research. And, like, I don't know, dude. That is, like, kind of scary to think. Like, you went to a store. Like, you went to, like, an actual, like, physical store, and apparently they had fake... name brand tires.
You're talking like a Firestone.
Yeah, almost. Something like that. Like he went there and like took a small trip there and like immediately got them balanced, took a trip back, and apparently they were already bald. And I'm thinking to myself like
that
like
seems...
that's it. Like even if they were like faked tires, right? Like that just seems like I don't know. Like that doesn't seem like real. That like
even.
Because, like, even, like, really crappy Walmart tires will last you, like...
Yeah.
You know? A long time. Like, more than a road trip, at least.
I feel like there's some information being left out. And like you said, it could have been alignment or maybe how he was driving.
Or him.
You're talking, like, less than 2,000 miles. Like
way less than 2,000. Way less than an oil change. Even if it was an oil change, like, who goes bald on 3,000 miles of tire?
But also, if it was, like, the pure inner like, end of the tire, then it's like, okay, yeah, it's alignment.
Bro, this one time, he had a 6-cylinder Mustang for a bit, and in Delaware, we had, like, this weird, I forget the name of it, but it was like a pier thing, right? And, like, at like, the parking pad for the pier was rock. So he would take his Mustang out there and just like do donuts. Bro, he would like complain. Like he came, like we were in like an upgrade class getting our 5 level at the time. He came in the class and he was like, man, my stuff's all bald, da 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 da. And he showed us a video of him like doing donuts in rocks in our gravel parking lot. Like not just like 1 or 2. I'm talking like
a couple
minutes, like minutes of like donuts. And I remember being like, you were the dumbest freaking person I've ever met. And then later on, got kicked out of the Air Force because he stole some money. So.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad because like he was a good person, or he still is a good person, but he just like made really. I just feel like I'm talking crap right now, but like he's a weirdo, dude. He's really weird.
Yeah.
So. The final question, Zach.
Yeah.
Do you have winter wheels or no?
Me personally?
Yes, you personally. I want to know what Zach does.
See, I know because I have 2 Subarus.
Yes.
I would be just fine with all season.
Okay.
Because then the all-wheel drive system kind of makes up a little bit. But
is that why people run winter wheels?
So... winter wheels, I think the biggest thing is the planning. It's a pain to kind of plan out unless you're someone who has a whole separate set of wheels for a winter setup.
Yeah. Which usually they do. Like Steely's or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, like, the way I think of it is, like, I don't want to ruin my RPF ones. Road salt, this and that, messing them up. That's how I'm thinking. I'm not really thinking like, oh, I need good tire.
Well, what about kind of what I kind of gravitate towards first is the general consumer, like commuter. You know, say like live with her Elantra.
Yeah.
For her to get winter wheels, she's not gonna find a set of Steelies or something like that. She's gonna want to actually dismount, put the tire on, and then if you're going through and with how winter is here, you have a time where it's it's like 60, 70 degrees out. Like, let's de-winterize the vehicle and go back, and then 2 weeks later it snows. So there's the weird kind of toss up with it.
The thing that I like, you make a great point, because it's like the majority of just normal people, right? Just don't like, that's not even a thing. Like, doesn't even exist in their brain. Like, I think it's literally a lot of wasted energy, because it's like,
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you have like a really nice set of wheels, okay, yeah, no duh, right? But then again, if you have a really nice set of wheels on a car, are you really gonna daily it in the winter? Like, are you gonna daily your bagged FRS? Probably not.
Some people do.
I mean,
more power to them.
If you're about it, sure.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. Like I guess it depends on like where you're coming from. Like with me with the Mazda, like I did it for like 2 or 3 seasons, like I told you. And honestly, dude, looking back on it, like I was doing it because I thought I needed to, because everybody else did it. And then I realized, wow, that's annoying. Like who cares? Like, just run them. Like, who really cares at this point? Like,
yeah.
Like with the RPF ones, like at first it was like, oh, dude, they're like mad sick. And then like I said, I curbed them. And then I had to go through all that process.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it was kind of like, okay, well, whatever. And the Mazda wasn't. It was like the call spade a spade. It was a daily. It was. But in my brain, it was not a daily. You know, so like I was like, dude, whatever. I'll just drive my first gen. That was my first Legacy. So I was like, I'll just drive the Legacy.
That'll be fine.
Whatever. And that's what I did.
Little tidbit. You know, when you said like you're beating yourself up.
Yeah.
When you curbed. Both in the Fiesta with the Avant-Garde, and then with the Type R with the Koenigs. I did. It was real small. So the Type R, like that was like tight parking lot, and there was a guy that was coming through more so in the lane when I was going out, like big truck. So I went in tight because I was going at the same time, and he was too much over, and I wasn't concentrating, and then clipping the curb. That one was like not that bad. The guy who actually bought the wheels from, he's like, oh yeah, it's whatever, it's not that bad. The Avant-Gardes with the Fiesta, that one sucked, and I remember I had Liv with me. So I had just gotten back from leave. This is right after we got back from the wedding, and we came back. 6-hour flight all the way. One way. I get back and I'm like, I'm starving. Like we gotta get some kind of food. Get in the Fiesta. Go to In-N-Out. Which have you ever had In-N-Out before?
Nope.
It's good, but it's not like me.
It sounds kind of hyped up, but it also sounds really good. It does look good. I've seen pictures.
Double annual style.
You want to go? All right, let's go.
We're gonna drive all the way over.
Why not? Spring break's next week.
That's a long drive, man. I've done it once. Unless you're making a trip out of it, I don't think a one-way drive. Yeah, we just don't sleep. Chugging energy drinks. Some Mountain Dew energy.
I ate this one chili and set my mouth on fire. I had to drink a whole 2-liter Mountain Dew. Classic.
What are they even talking about? The Fiesta with the Avant-Gardes. The way how In-N-Out drive-throughs work, it's really tight, and that one I kind of cut.
Ooh. Okay.
There, it goes to a point where it's super tight, and you're going out. And the Fiesta, I had the wider wheels and a little bit of camber.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I made connection with this curb enough where the car actually went.
Oh shoot!
And it was silence, and Liv looked out like over at me and knew that I was visibly very upset and PO'd. And what did she even say? Like, I think she said, "I'm sorry." And I was like, "It's fine. You didn't do anything. I'm just very upset about this." And I was just annoyed.
Oh yeah, dude.
And
I know the feeling, dog.
If you're ever whenever you're in the Speed 3 and something dumb happens or whatever, I don't want to say you should start driving dumb, but you're a little bit heavier on the gas pedal when stuff like that happens. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I get it, man. Like when I literally in Ocean City, it wasn't a car event or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Misty was with me too, and it was the lower streets. It was below 30th, and I was on Coastal making a right, trying to get to Baltimore or whatever, and same ordeal, dude. And it was like a slow, and I remember like getting out and like literally almost being, like I said, being in tears. And
yeah. Because you think you're like, I spent that money, and then you're like, it's gonna cost a fortune to fix, or how am I gonna do this or that?
I was after it, like days after it, I was so fixed on it, like I couldn't even drive the car. Like I was that bad, bro. Like I would drive the car, I'd be like, this sucks. It's not the same.
I get that. Like I didn't have a choice because the Fiesta was my daily.
Yeah.
But every time I'd be like it'd just be a downer.
I bet.
And it was, in hindsight, it was something that was probably super easy to fix.
But you bought those wheels brand new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, dude, I get it. It's different when you buy a set of beat wheels. You're like, yo, I don't care. Like, who cares?
I also had, if you remember, I had them powder-coated.
Oh, my God.
Or repainted or whatever. God. And I was like, I mean, it was on the lip, so that was just plain. It wasn't on the face or anything like that. But, that, I think, another thing that kind of sat bad. It's like, man, these are like my one-of-one wheel.
Yeah, I bet, dude.
But yeah, I ended up selling them to another Fiesta because hey, 4x108. Who else has that
specific?
But he ran them for a little bit. And I told him, I was like, you can't do too big of a tire. You can't go too low. Like you got to run a little bit of camber. Like the way that I had mine set up was probably like the limit. Like it wasn't even that low of a car, but it's like, no, you can't do any more. Make sure your coilovers are pretty stiff, this and that. And he's like, yeah, I can't do it. And I have no idea where they went to after that. I don't know who bought them.
They're probably on the wall.
Probably.
On display.
Probably. I gotta find them.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Go back to Vegas.
Let's find it.
Or it's in California.
YOLO, dude.
It crossed the border.
Jeez.
There's like a truck driving around with them on.
They're like hidden in the frame of the truck, smuggling them.
Playing Gasolina.
God, that's a banger, dude.
Yeah.
I listen to it all the time. Yo, so I on my fake wheels this one time, I want to say it was probably when I was dipping them. I don't remember. Anyways, I noticed it had a pretty big bend. Like it was like a circle and like flat spot.
Ooh.
And I took a rubber mallet. I swear on my marriage this happened. Boom, 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 boom. Dude.
Fixed itself?
Yeah. It's probably why the wheel exploded.
Yes. Oh, those.
Yeah, dude, I beat the crap out of it until it straightened out. Actually, it straightened out so much that I had tires mountain balance already. Straightened out so much that the car started shaking, so I had to get it rebalanced. That's how big I bent it out. Well, we'll see y'all next week. Goodbye.
See ya.